Me? Don't know what you're talking about. I think it's natural. It's just like normal. That's what we do now, isn't it? My mic on. That'll be there. That Natasha, so everybody's always heard this like half the conversation. Gemma came to work today.
Is that better?
Me and SJ are like, what's going on?
Oh, you should have heard it. And that was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. What can I say? Sorry about that. I'm just threading up John's machine. I say John's machine, I actually mean my machine.
Mine.
Mine. John, have you got one of these?
I do.
Oh, so I don't know why I'm threading it for you then. You know exactly how to do it.
No. You can do that. I'm not going to stop you. No one is going to stop you doing extra bits for me.
Does stuff in a different way, doesn't it?
You know I'm the king of pointing.
Do it. Yeah. Do it. Good morning, everybody. John is here, as you have heard. We have been busy little pixies and elves in the night.
God, I'm going to... this is the first day I am stealing a sample.
Which one are you stealing?
Oh my God, those bags. I mean, seriously.
I know. So, you know the beach bag pattern that we did a couple of weeks ago? Well, here's the thing, because they were always inspired by Kaif in the first place.
Just divine.
We did them with William Morris, if you're feeling a bit grown up. But because I'm off to the beach next week...
Are you going on your holiday with your boyfriend?
Hollybobs and children.
Boyfriend. And your children, yeah.
What are you emphasising there, John? I can't imagine.
You've had the children for so long. It's still new and it's still exciting and you still get all gushy and gooey. Are you saying that my
children are boring?
Hardly. Emily, boring. Those are two words that will never go together in the English language.
Anyway.
And so Freddie's just too cool for everything.
Bags. Emily nearly fits in one of these, by the way.
Oh, I bet.
She was trying to take one to the pub on Saturday with us.
Of course.
Yeah. So I managed to get her to swap.
What is the weight that you could carry that without it breaking?
I don't know. I've not tried it.
I think Emily might be the cutting point.
Well, no, she had one of the little wristlets instead. She
that
did.
Is so gorgeous. That I like, but this one, take all my money. Oh, it's terrible. Show the lining though. Show the lining because you're missing that. The lining is for me like.
Right, I use clear poppers now because I'm fed up of trying to match colour. So just go with clear poppers. So you never see it. I just then one pack does all.
Seriously.
So this is your chips.
Oh, love.
Look at it, rainbow. Is this the one you're knitting?
What? Both of them.
But these are my shells.
One's a day, one's a night.
Think how much you can stuff in there. Yeah. Do you know what else I've done, John?
Is it your cock?
Ah, yes.
I just wanted to say that because
I
wonder if we'll get banned on Facebook now for that.
Oh,
sorry.
Probably. Thanks. Where is he? Oh, here he is. So a lot of you were wondering what the new colours would look like for my lovely big cockerel. And they look like this, basically.
You won't like it, don't
I've used the purple rainbows, the, I think that's the jade jumble, and then that, but I mean, I got this out of the scrap bin. I just went crazy in the scrap bin. You can see a bit of orange on there. And then this is his tail. It's all about the tail. Everything else you can cobble together, but it's all about the tail for this guy. So if you would like to get that fabric, we still have it. Because it only came in a couple of days ago.
I don't know how. It's too beautiful.
I know, but
can I just interrupt your flow for a moment? Yes. Because you know how I'm a little magpie and I look across the room and go, oh my God, what's that?
What have you looked at now?
You see the bottom shelf above the singer, the top two fabrics. Can you just
these two?
Can you just bring those out? Because I think they need more wafting. And you are the queen of wafting.
I do like a waft.
Oh my God,
so,
look at these.
I know. And I don't know how we've got any left, to be honest.
Just beyond divine.
Because, well, you see, this is the trouble. When I was trying to decide which fabrics to do you know what? I was really selfish, John. I'm not going to lie, I was really selfish. And I said to Gemma, can you please just make me, because I didn't have time to make everything, some of your lovely... neck thingies, what they're called?
Smarves.
No,
infinity scarf.
infinity scarves. Boom, that's the one. So I've now got a fat quarter of that in an infinity scarf and a fat quarter of that in an infinity scarf. In fact,
But it's incredible what you can make with a fat quarter. But
It's
those
there.
two, I'm sorry.
Hang on. It's there. It's there.
I just don't know how on earth.
And it goes with my pink waist.
I know. They're so good
and then
with
I've
their
got
colours.
That's the other one.
I just glanced at those two because when I look behind that gorgeous leather jacket with that infinity scarf
Oh, well,
there,
this one here.
and
yeah.
you've got the teal flower behind it hiding there.
If you
ever
would
so
like
slightly.
these, then no, that's the
Just
croissant in there. And also, so when I first demoed this, it was when Brandon was with me live in our old studio. And he said, choose like 3 contrasting ones so that you can really see where one starts and the other finishes. So, yeah, that's what we do. And I wear these now all the time.
I think that one specifically should just come straight into my bag.
Well, I mean, I've got another bottle of this.
My husband will literally murder me.
Oh, but he's not very well. You could cheer him up. Makes him fabulous. So that's what we've been busy doing. So that's what the cockerel looks like. These are what the bags look like. We have put these into bundles. So if you want the metre of Style, and we've honoured that discount that we had, and if you want a half metre of each of those fabrics so that you can make that bag, you've already got the pattern. I know that. I do know that.
But do you know what I love about this bag? Not only does it look absolutely incredible, I sat and watched you make one, and I only got here at 9:15.
I made both of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying from start to end,
Yeah.
you made 2 in
Yeah.
like an hour.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah.
They really are so easy to make.
Really super, super easy to make. The other thing is...
Oh my God, I saw Jane doing these earlier.
Jane finished these off for me.
She
These
did.
are the picnic blankets that we made yesterday.
Divine.
So we've now got his and hers. So Emily can have one, Freddie can have one. And then we go on our holly bobs next week.
But what about boyfriend and girlfriend? Don't
Huh?
they get their own one?
Well, we'll share. So we get to have that.
That is so beautiful.
So that's one colourway. And then this is the more muted masculine version.
They're both gorgeous though.
Do you know what? This stuff is brilliant.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, just divine.
And that's the, I mean, it's upside down, obviously, but that's the more masculine version.
It's
Fab, aren't
so
they?
Beautiful. Really beautiful.
Just fab. So those kits still on the website, but I think you might like to see them, how they look when they're done. There we go. We can have a little...
I'm going to lie down on them now.
Should we say hello to everyone, John?
Yeah.
Because we've done
I'm going to have a
of...
little nap. You carry
Okay.
on doing my demo today.
I don't know why I'm trying to change the camera screen. It's this I want to. I don't actually have my glasses on, so this could be...
You did that last
Oh,
show
it's
as
a moment.
well.
I know, because I didn't think I was sewing, but I have been sewing, but I haven't been sewing, if you see what I mean.
We should get you a string. Put round
Well-
your neck.
So the girls are going to make me one so that I could have like my scissors,
Just use that bag you've just made.
and then I need glasses. I need my glasses, and I need to say hello to everybody. I need to find where you are. If you hold my phone, I'll read it.
What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know what could possibly go wrong. What have we got? Who have we got? What's going on? Jan's here, Christina's here, Elizabeth's here. Oh, good morning, says Ali, Natasha and John and the Makes family. I've made it on time again. Better than
Lisa
Elizabeth.
Chandler's here. Sorry.
Ah, morning, Lisa. Good morning, good morning. Sue said, I thought I'd misheard you then. I'm going to get Facebook banned if you keep this up. Yeah, there is that. What have I missed, Natasha? Boyfriend? I must have had my head in the sand. Yes, Tina, yes. Well, I don't really say very much about it, but John does.
He's so lovely. He's so lovely. Sorry. I'll stop now.
That's fine. Morning, Pam. She says, good morning, Natasha and John and everyone. I'm having to watch on my phone. Stupid internet. It's decided to die. So she's not going to do that. And good morning, Myra. She says, Elizabeth Krangle was about to message you. Oh, there we go. So now you know. And Wendy's here as well. She says, the cockerel is stunning. Literally my scraps for his face and body. And then, in fact, you could... I did a half metre for the tail, but I've got to demo this later on in the week, so meh. You do it with the fat quarter, and then have half a fat quarter to do Scarfy,
We'll
thing.
hang on to that idea because I've got some tips for you later on because you
Have
know
you?
that Jenny Jackson wrote a book.
Oh, she did write
Yeah.
a book. We're going to talk all about that as
So
well. We've got
with your leftover
today.
bits, just hang on to that idea and we'll come back to it.
Hang fire. Morning, Joy. Morning, Natasha and John. Beautiful fabrics, yes. If the backing is wipeable, how can you wash the front, or will it go in the washing machine?
Yeah, well, you can wash that.
I don't know. I'll have to try it and see.
Do you know who'll know? That
Who?
day, Jane.
Yes. Ali has ordered some PU to make a patio tablecloth. Good call. The other thing to do is odor coat the front, and then you could just wipe clean the
even
whole
better,
the whole
yeah.
lot. But the thing is that it's waterproof, so you shouldn't need to.
Yeah.
Unless you spill stuff. And then you just wipe, dab. Morning, Becky. Morning, Denise. Morning, Jane. Morning, Kath. Watching whilst everyone else is skiing. Love the beach bags. In the new fabrics. I bought my Blue Elephants version with me. Nice. They get a little bit addictive. You'll be making more. Oh, Pam's got her internet back. She's very happy. There we go. So that's where we're at this morning. John is making lots of beautiful things. I'm going to... Should I put this little chair?
On your lap.
I'll pop in there.
Oh, he's so beautiful.
And there, I'm going to steal that. If you tried seams,
Amazing. I
love
love
it.
them. Love them.
We've got it on a special offer before anybody else.
Now, can we just talk a little about that?
Yes.
So when I was on another channel,
Yes.
there during a global pandemic,
Yes.
where you couldn't look at anybody, touch anything, and
Yes.
if you shared a product, dear
Yes.
Lord, you knew what was going on.
Yes.
So that there bottle of oil
Yes.
is a year old, year
Right.
and a bit,
Yes.
and it's still going.
Oh,
Because you don't use a lot. You use one drop on all of it. It's amazing.
the oil is lovely. We've got the hand cream and the new little travel size to put in your
saw.
handbag, your man bag, whatever kind of bag it
Handbag
is.
is fine. There's no discrimination here.
Everyone has hands, right?
I use a handbag just as well as you do.
There you go. So my hands just get so dry. So
Mine too, actually, and I'm hoping you're going to leave the
All
little
the
bottle
time.
there so I can have a little.
I will. Actually, there's a bigger one in there as well. So it's. I just think if you're not
It's
doing,
gorgeous.
there you go.
Think
If you're
about-
not doing Easter
God, I
presents,
caught it as well.
I know, with a really
Knew I
bad
could have been in the
early
netball team. And the great thing is, you really don't need a lot of this.
No.
Shall I throw it back to
Yeah.
you?
I was basketball. I was more basketball. I'm not going to lie. I didn't really like netball that much.
Yeah, it wasn't
Because-
contact sport enough.
Wow,
for you.
they always used to try and put me as goalkeeper, but we had a really, you
Well, I'm
know.
not surprised. You're about 9 foot tall, and if anybody came near you, they'd be terrified.
But I wanted to be goal attack because I was tall and I could just. So yeah,
I think the word was attack.
worked out in the end. That's all good.
I love the stuff, and the smell of it is so
It's
good.
just sublime, isn't it?
Oh, so
But
good.
you're going to have to get your orders in quick because this offer is not on for long.
But it really lasts forever. I'm so impressed with the stuff.
I have bottles of this stuff everywhere. And then if Emily wants to do a spa day,
Oh,
then we get
yes.
out the oil and she wants on her feet. It's really nice on your feet.
It really is.
Yeah, everywhere. And then it's just gorgeous. John, do you want to come and do something?
I'm having much more fun watching you
No,
do
okay,
it.
cool. It's just a thought. I'm going to pop those
Oh,
up there so
bags
everyone
are
can
so
see.
good.
And then they'll be in plain sight for when you try and steal them. I'm coming over there.
Yeah.
There we go. John's got lots of goodies for you today, haven't you, John?
It's a busy show.
It is a busy show. I'm
Busy,
just going to
busy
duck
show.
under.
You're all good.
I'm not. I'm just going to make faces in front of the camera. What am I saying?
Like, seriously. Me and Tesco's like this.
Oh, we
It's
can
so
see it.
Gorgeous.
We can see it.
I love it. Love it,
It'll
love
be
it,
a
love it,
beautiful
love
thing, John.
it. Really, but it's just inspired with the lining on it.
It took a lot of matching of this one or that one or this one or that one.
Oh, I love it. Sorry. Hello.
Good
Stop
morning.
being distracted by the pretty things. Right, so I am here not to do this, I know, but can we just like take a moment and look at that one there? Look at that little teal thing popping out there.
Oh, it's just beautiful, isn't
I
it?
just can't. You've got to stop looking. Right, so
And you
today.
haven't even started looking. This is only a fraction of it.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
The rest has gone for
I
cutting.
I was sat down and we had a very stern conversation last night. Apparently, I now need to stop buying everything. Allegedly, yes.
But which still leaves you with the option to buy some things, just not everything.
You might be watching. Right, we're going to do a very quick recap of these. This
Lovely.
is my block 1. This was the cave bundle that we had as an alternative colorway. This is the suggested colorway. There is no right or wrong. You must do it how you choose. What I love about this is that if you don't want to make this quilt, even though it is beautiful, and you just wanted to do random different blocks like this, it works really well, and you can create your own different montage of all the different blocks as well. So that is block number 1. That was in January. If you pop on the website and you have bought it and you have forgotten what day it was, that there Gemma has very kindly gone and put all of the dates in now of all the shows. So if you ever miss a show and want to catch back up on it, it is available for you. This one is block 2. And as you can see, when you get 4 of them together, it creates a new flower.
Beautiful.
You can then put a little sashing in there and create something else as well with a different colour in. Maybe put the light pink in the middle to just make it look a little bit of a 3D.
Or a button.
Or a button. You've got,
Nice.
oh God, you've got some gorgeous buttons. And then this was the cave alternative that we had.
Beautiful.
And just look how beautiful that looks in the Aboriginal dot there. It's really pretty. So that's there is number 2. And then we have number 3, which is what we did. Number 2 was done in February. And then number 3 we did last month. Again, we did, this is the cave alternative, and you can see how gorgeously well that works. This is the suggested colorway. That is our block 3, which was done last month. And this month, we are doing block 4. There we go. Now, one thing just to note when you get your pattern, it doesn't matter if it's printed or whether you're going to download it and get it online. Your little FPP piece, which I have asked Natasha to put over there. Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Because I thought I had a piece out here, and I probably do. Thank you, ma'am. I'm
Incoming.
getting quite good at this catching thing today.
All right. It's like we're sporty
When
types,
you get
John.
this piece, when you get this piece, at the bottom of the page, it will tell you how big this needs to be. Take your ruler, measure from the dark line there to the dark line there, and check that is 5 inches. From the outer line there to the outer line there, that is 5.5 inches. It's really, really, really important, especially if you're printing these at home on your own. These must measure 5.5 with your seam allowance and 5 without your seam allowance. Really important. If you get it wrong, it's not going to fit into the quilt. So rather measure it beforehand before you get caught out. So we've got 2 different colorways of this today. This is the traditional colorway that we've chosen, which is salmon, magenta and cream, if I'm not mistaken, or is that coral? Either way, it's these 3 colorways over here. And then we've done...
know Gemma picked them.
That day Gemma's
That
good
day
like
Gemma.
that. But of course
can't remember which one
she
she
may
did.
have just made me fall madly in love with her even more by choosing this gorgeous combination over here. It's probably you who chose this, isn't it?
I mean,
Honestly, it's whoever it is, inspired, brilliant, gorgeous.
We might have collaborated
I think
for
it's
that one.
important to have that little collab.
Yeah.
So these are the 2 colorways that you're going to get. You can do these by the block of the month. You can buy each block each month, and you can buy it in the cave version as well. And of course, it being cave, you can mix and match however you choose. It will all work and all look absolutely beautiful. So now we are going to do this block over here. I have just cut a thin piece of the cream because, having done this quite a lot, you will get quite used to how much you need to do and what you're doing and how you do it. And there is never any wastage, because whatever you've got left over that's usable, you will then put into your little scrap bin, and you will use that the next time round very happily and go from there. The top tip is always cut the pieces bigger than you think you need. It is just a lot easier than having to unpick. And you can tell these pieces are really huge, but I'd rather have them too big than have to have things go wrong.
I mean, that is a life lesson, isn't it?
It is. Always have more than you need, Andrew.
Always.
Subtle.
I feel that this conversation last night
That
might
was
have
very
touched a
subtle,
slightly
yes.
raw nerve
No,
there.
no, God no. There is very little in this world I'm not allowed. And to be fair, I did go a little mad when he had COVID.
Oh, yes. He's not actually all that well, though, is he?
He's really not doing very well, bless him. But I think everybody has these lingering effects that are different for each person. I still do not understand how I didn't get it.
Because you are clearly supersonic.
Well,
mister.
whatever it is,
Clearly
long may it
supersonic.
continue, especially because I've got a residential retreat in 2 weeks, 10 days' time. So, yep, looking forward to getting that done. Can they not read?
Do you know what? I'm going to lock the door. Oh no, Gemma's just gone out. We've just had a man in a high visibility jacket coming out. Good morning! I was like, shh.
Get out, what is wrong with you?
Man, get out.
Was he attractive at least?
I mean, middling.
Oh, you're not allowed to look anymore.
Dead from the neck up. Come on.
There are many things that you might be. That is not one of them. I love it. Gemma's so subtle. John's 4 inches.
Thanks, Gemma.
Thanks a lot. I love it. Oh, did I cut 2 pieces there by mistake? Yes, I did. Oops. Oh, well, there we go. So those are the 7 pieces you are going to need for your piece here. Now
Well done, Gemma.
the first thing you need to remember is this is fun. This is meant to be enjoyable. You are supposed to be enjoying this. It is a hobby. Enjoy it. Have fun. Be kind to yourself. When it goes wrong, smile. It's fine. I didn't even bring my unpicker today, so I know this is going to go catastrophically wrong.
Oh, we have lots, don't worry.
I don't need it. I'm going to have faith today. We won't need it.
So shorten your stitch
The
length.
whole thing is
first
going to
thing.
go completely wrong from here on in.
John, you can't say that.
So when you get your little piece of paper over here, you know that that's a background piece, that's a background piece, that's a background piece, and that's a background piece.
We know this.
I know this because I've done it. So there you go. Background, background.
Oh, there you go. You can do it on the. You can do it on the.
Background,
There you
background, background, and background. So we know that those are the background pieces there. We know that the purple one's going to be that one, and we know that these 2 are going to be the petals. Okay, so
So Lowe says if you keep the blood to alcohol levels right, that seems to keep COVID away. I mean, I don't know if the doctors would
I'm
agree.
going to trust Lo implicitly. She sounds like she
seems to
knows
have
what she's
worked.
talking about.
So clearly, it's the gin is what is keeping you well.
Well, did you hear about the disaster I had?
What?
This
no.
is a very serious
Gin-based
disaster.
disasters.
Waitrose has stopped doing their tonic.
What?
No, you don't understand. When the pandemic started, everybody else hoarded toilet roll,
You hoarded.
tonic. Because the gin was fine, but then you've got to drink it with something, otherwise your liver's going to pack up. And I could not tell you the distress I had knowing that the tonic has now no longer a product that Waitrose make. Right. I am attempting to fussy cut it. Whether
Go on.
this will work or not, we will find out soon enough. Is that normal?
Oh, so if you spin the foot pedal round, because the heel of the foot pedal is programmed to cut the fabric. It's the foot pedal off the DX. So I've programmed it. And I didn't know that the programming would be interchangeable. Right? How cool is that?
Oh. My trusty assistant threaded the bobbin and it didn't seem to like that.
Oh, good job. You know what you're doing then, isn't it? Sorry.
Not your fault. I'm surprised that you're actually able to start all of this because you did so much this morning already.
Well, you know, we give it a go.
Give it a go. You knocked it out of the park.
Well, you know, I was on one. Coffee, the lot. Off we went. I had it all
Well, that was the
planned.
biggest disaster that we had on Andrew being so poorly is, and I know that
Oh,
this
the
is a
tonic
proper
water running out.
Well, the tonic water firstly, that was the first blow. And then the second blow was then realising I had no clue how to make coffee out of my own coffee machine.
Oh, well, that.
So
that
2
would be a
weeks
big
without
blow.
me being caffeinated, that was a festive moment.
Crikey.
I know.
You being
I was an
caffeinated.
absolute delight.
Could you not have, like, you know,
Ordered in, yes.
I mean, there's ordered in, but
Would
also
I
there's-
have found Uber Eats to bring me Starbucks? Me? Would I ever do something like that?
Oh, John, did you seriously? The other thing is...
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Do you want to move that cutting mat over and then the pressing mat over, and then we can see everything when you cut and press? Towards the machine. Everything towards the machine.
You must remember, I'm a man. You've got to do this slowly. We can't focus on more than
There
one
we go.
thing at a
Beautiful,
time.
beautiful. There we go. Now we can see the
Right,
pressing.
so we've done number 1 to number 2. Now we're going to do number 3, which is the little cream section up here. Did you finally watch your podcast, by the way?
No, do you know, I completely forgot.
That there, Natasha did a podcast with me on my YouTube channel.
I did.
And what I loved was she alluded to something quite impressive, which some of you may not know.
What?
That there, Natasha over there, trained to be in the Olympics. And I've got
Everybody
a
knows
video
that.
that I may or may not have found on the internet
no,
of Natasha
John!
nearly vomiting into a contraption over her face.
Trust you to find
I
like,
may
the
or
most
may not have been able to find that.
unflattering, awful clips that are
Oh,
out there.
it is flattering. You look amazing. I was absolutely inspired not to ever enter the Olympics.
That was awful. So Greg White, who was my, who used to do all my Olympic statistics and everything, he's the one that when, you know, like Davina McCall wants to swim something or David William wants to swim something, he coaches them. But my goodness, he's a hard taskmaster.
I was going to say, now, who's the person when, if you come up with a stupid idea like, oh, hi, I'd like to enter the Olympics, that look at you and go, no. Who's that person? That's the person I need.
I don't know. Clearly, I didn't meet them.
Clearly you did not do
I?
that. What did Gemma say when you were doing all of this, by the way?
Oh, Gemma, I was living out of the area, so I didn't see Gemma that much. So she, otherwise, you know, she probably would talk some sense into me, to be honest.
Look, I have to say, it was really impressive. It was very impressive, because there are quite a few little interviews with you out there.
Oh gosh,
That there,
did you really,
Natasha.
Did you? Oh, you didn't have.
I may or may not have done my research on that.
Really. What amazed me was the interest in it. You know, this
Oh, God, yes, I can
Just-
imagine that.
a girl that had never done anything, plodding around, giving it a go, and yeah, all sorts of people wanted to know. It was very strange.
There may or may not be a clip of hello.
Oh, sorry.
There may or may
Sorry.
not be a clip of someone with a giant. Was it a rifle or a gun?
It was only a pistol.
Yeah, come in the wrong door. I dare you, Mr. DPD man. Come on.
It's Hermes, actually, but you know, yeah,
Oh
how
well.
very
yeah.
dare.
The fact that it's actually in the same road as where you are, that's an impressive thing with them. Look how gorgeous this is looking.
Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a little look.
I love this.
There we go.
That looks amazing. So that's number 4. Now we're going to put number 5 on over here. So you fold back on the line where you're going to be sewing, so you know roughly where you're going to be. And I won't deny, I'm a little impressed that that's exactly 1/4 inch.
Yay.
I'm very impressed with that.
Check you out.
That was luck, 100% luck.
Oh, no. Maya wants to know when everyone gets to interrogate. I mean, she means meet Ian.
Oh, did you give the name away now? Oh.
Well, only because they keep thinking, well, Stephen is my soon-to-be ex-husband and Ian is the boyfriend, which is...
Can I just say, there have been many people that I know who've gotten partners after we've known each other.
Yeah.
And you look at the partner and go, oh, God, I really liked being friends with you.
Please tell me that's not happened
He's
here.
lovely. He's so lovely.
You missed that bit out.
And he accepted my friend request within half a day. I was so impressed. Did Gemma ever get her friend request accepted?
No.
Gemma's not. Oh my gosh!
And then I tried again.
I love it.
She said she's not tried again. He's dead to her now.
Dead. So Gemma's probably sitting there going, oh, I really liked being friends with Natasha. But you know what I mean? Sometimes people go out with... one of my best friends went out with somebody who I literally, my skin crawled every time I saw him. He was horrible, man.
Oh no.
And it's so awful because the minute they go through problems, you're like, leave him! you can't do that because that's
If
not being a good
sooner.
friend.
No.
But oh
No.
gosh.
Oh, Elizabeth said that she'd watched the podcast and it was fantastic
Oh,
footage.
thank you. It was nothing to do with me. It was all that there, Natasha.
Oh, well, no, you found it rummaging around. I didn't give you any hints on any of it being out there.
Don't you think I did my research before I called you? Would I do that?
So Julia is upset about the tonic situation.
Honestly, Julia, you do not understand how distressed I've been.
She said it's the only one that she liked, with
Exactly.
quinine and no artificial sweeteners. But Lo says that the London Essence tonic.
I find that I like it, but I just find it's not quite. I don't like a lot of flavours and botanicals in my tonic. I prefer it in my gin. So I'm a little bit of a purist in that way. However, I will say Marks and Spencer's no-name tonic isn't bad. The Morrison's one's a little bit too perfumey, like the Schweppes one. The Tesco's one, save your money. The Aldi one is not bad. Little one I've not tried because I can't find a little. But yeah, the Marks and Spencer's one. The only problem with the Marks and Spencer's one, there are only 6 in each store.
What?
I know, because I go in and go, oh, I'll take all of those.
Thank you
And
very
they
much.
fit nicely, one of those little wine carriers.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Perfect. No, Lo. Lo says, let's all send him a friend request now. No.
Do you know? My God. One of my very good friends
gonna wonder what the heck's
yesterday
happened.
turned round and said, will you please tell Lorraine that I'm sorry, I don't have space for her to be a friend of mine on Facebook. And I said, what are you talking about? He says, I've got 40 people. That is far too many as it is. When one of them dies, I will let Lorraine in. So I looked at this and thought, oh my God, who's on the list? So I opened the look and it was going through, and I was like, Nicola's passed away. He's like, oh, right, that's fine. Deletes her and adds Lorraine. But he won't have more than 40 people, ever.
What?
He thinks 40 is far too much.
Amazing. Wow.
So
Wow.
Lorraine was really happy. She got her friend request accepted.
Ah, Ali's a bit frightened to try this, but she does say that you make it look easy.
Sorry?
Ali's a bit scared to try this, you know, this
Why?
FPP. That
No,
we're
you
doing
mustn't
here.
be. You mustn't be. Look, I will tell you that don't go and start with one that's got 28 seams. Just start with something really simple, really small, with 2 or 3 seams. Otherwise, you know, we can do classes.
Yay!
I love it. And
Let's
it's just
take
so simple, and you can see we're chatting away, but this is literally how long it takes to do the whole block. And you need to make 4 of them for the quilt.
Jane says there are a few men in her past that make her skin crawl. Must have had beer goggles on. I love the honesty of our viewers. It's all
Well,
good.
See, my problem is being South African, I have absolutely no filter.
There's no filter.
And I'm
I can't
not
believe
friends
you
with
were-
this person anymore, but I
Oh.
remember being invited to a dinner to meet the new partner. And at the dinner I said, you've got to be joking me. This cannot be your choice. And the man said, what do you mean? I said, you're awful. You're self-involved. You're horrible. You're going to be a terrible partner. And I can't support this. I'm sorry. Goodbye. And picked my stuff up and left.
Wow.
I can't. My life is too short to waste it with people that don't matter.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's bold.
Now you're worried about me having bumped into you at Stitches, aren't you?
No, because, had I known this previously, then yes, obviously. But now that I know and it's all okay,
Oh no,
then,
he's lovely.
then we're all good.
And he really, really adores you, so that's a good thing.
That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Well, how could he not?
I don't know, I was my ex-husband. He could give him some tips.
La 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 la. Nothing to see here, boys and girls. Nothing at all. Just a few little seams creating a little story. Oh my God. I feel so sorry for your viewers when they come in. They've got this mad gay man coming on talking absolute trollop, insulting the nation. And there we go. We are almost there. Now we're going to trim the edges.
Go on then.
When I trim the edges, I always make sure that I'm trimming the same distance from the seam line on all of my blocks. So I never cut on the seam line. I always go just past it. So when I line my 1/4 inch on the ruler up, I always put it just that side of the line on all of them, because then that way they're all at the same size, and when you put them together, you should then in theory have all your points meet and match all the way through.
Perfect. Hey John, listen to this. Sue met her husband as a teenager. She said, I was a child bride. I've been able to kill him twice over and still be out on parole. That's amazing.
I love that.
My mum and dad had their
50 weddings, 50
I
years.
know.
That's wonderful.
I know, bless them.
Congratulations
And
to
you know,
them.
it's what we all kind of aspire to, but do nothing for everyone.
No, but relationships are all luck. It's all about being on the same page with your partner, being lucky enough to meet them at the time that you're both on the same page, and then remaining on the same page for the rest of your lives. It's very, very hard. And if marriage was easy, everybody would have one.
Elizabeth thinks that she must have some sort of South African heritage. She's always honest and people don't like it.
They don't.
But
But is it wrong? You've got to be right. Oh, blast, I did that the wrong way round. I was trying to fussy cut that the little flower came out that way.
oh,
But you can see what I mean. And then you can see when you put these
Beautiful.
together,
Beautiful.
you can see you create a really fun secondary flower there as well.
Nice, very nice. But that's just it.
So what's great about this is that it's a mix and match process on these. And I love them, love them, love them, love them. So this is the Cafe bundle that you're getting with this one. And if I'm not mistaken, it is a long 1/4 of the 2K fabrics, which is more than enough to make the
Beautiful.
block. And you're getting a 1/2 metre of the cream in the Cafe bundle. Now I've made one block, so to just show you, I only had 4 inches of the fabric as well.
Keeps coming back to
Coming
that,
back that 4 inches.
doesn't
But you
it?
can see how little of the fabric I've used in that 4 inches. And on this one, even less. So there is going to be loads of fabric left over, which leads me very sadly into my next step. So that is the Cafe bundle over there. And then this is the traditional bundle that we've chosen for the whole quilt. This is the colourway all the way through.
Beautiful.
And you can see how beautifully they go there. This is the block that you're making for
So
block
you can
number 4.
interchange, can't you, if you want to
And
like,
easily
have
you
a
can
little highlighty bit.
interchain the gem however you choose.
And where is this on the actual quilt itself?
So
Give
on
it
the
a
quilt
show.
itself, it is these corners over here. You've got 4 of them, and then hidden behind beautiful bags. Don't forget the bags. So yeah, that's where we are here. So we've done that one, that one, that one, and that one. And if I'm not mistaken, next month is that one, because that is an absolute beast, and you can leave it out. Just saying, you can leave it out. But that is a really complicated one, but you've got to just be very cautious on it. But remember, we've done 6 months of this by that point, 5 months of it by that point, and we are starting off really small. This one's only got 4 seams in it. You know what I mean by that. So it's a nice little way of easing yourself into it.
Yeah, it's a confidence builder. Lo she says, gay? You're gay?
No, my husband is.
She said she would never have known.
Never have guessed, darling. Who are you? Shock horror. I remember once somebody turned to me and they were genuinely horrified that I was gay. And I looked at them and said, you truly thought I was a heterosexual? Me? Really? Have you ever met any heterosexual men? Like, really? You think No, it's fine.
Well, Fiona is about to celebrate her 40th anniversary this July,
Congratulations.
which is fantastic.
That is
Congratulations.
brilliant. I hope
Viv
I get to
says
that point.
that she's been married for 47 years, but she's on the 3rd hubby. Is that 47 years in total, like all 3?
Probably, yeah. Unless she's 107.
I didn't know that.
Then
you
again,
cut,
Elizabeth Taylor was only married to some of them for a few months. Could have been.
She whipped through them, didn't she?
She did, yes.
Oh, there we go.
She knew what she was doing, though. She always kept the house.
Did she?
Not that she needed to.
Do you know, yeah, a friend of mine's been married a few times. He says next time he's just going to meet a woman that he doesn't like and give her a house. Okay. There's romance.
On
it's
that
an option.
note, I love it.
It's an option. What else are we doing today, John?
Now, I now need to compose myself because I don't like gushing. It's a little bit, it's a little gauche. But very, very rarely do we actually find a book that we genuinely love, and it's brilliant. Now, many of you may know Jenny Jackson, many of you may not. She is incredible person. So her as a person, I adore. I think she's fantastic. Her craft on this, equally as lovely. But let you have a look at the book and you can see. So the book is called English Paper Piecing by Jenny Jackson. English Paper Piecing Workshop by Jenny Jackson. So this is now worldwide. This is in Walmart. This is in... oh gosh, I found it last night. I can't remember the other one. Target in America, which are the two biggest brands in the entire country, Walmart and Target. They are. It is a fabulous book. It sold out when it was released day before yesterday, and the book is fantastic. You've got 18 different projects.
So this is on a month. We get it. We are taking pre-orders. We are the only other place in the country at the moment that has them available as a pre-order.
Perfect.
Apart from Jenny herself.
And Jenny herself.
Yeah.
Now, I will say it is absolutely brilliant, and what I love about it is when you are doing a project like this and you have got these little leftover pieces, remember those little pieces, because going through the book there are 18 different projects. So that is a little mug rug. So if you've got leftover pieces, well, hello.
Yeah,
you know,
perfect.
you can match them beautifully, and I do think English paper piecing is one of those amazing projects that you can just do different things. And here, for example, she's done half hexes to be able to make them work that way, which I love. Now, when I did this, I wanted to do all of them, but then I realized I'm only one human, and I did end up getting the book reasonably early, but maybe not quite early enough to make a whole quilt in, 28 days to be able to do it. That I just am 100% in love with. I think it is so beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
So you've got the templates in the book.
Well, that's where I'm coming to now. So the great thing about this is a quilt. So that quilt there is 57 inches square. Now that is a gorgeous size quilt. It's lovely. But what's so great is on all of this, not only does it show you how to build it up, if you want to change the method to do it, it also leaves you with the templates. Bear with. The templates for them over here. So what is really amazing is you can then print out as many of these as you like. You can enlarge them, you can make them smaller, you can do them however you like, and it is just so fabulous. I'm just reading here, you can download printable versions of these templates from David and Charles as well. So it's just a great way of being able to do something so effective, really thoughtfully, being able to use do the sizing that you want. If you want to make it a little bit bigger, you can enlarge these by 50%. So having the templates on the back are great. But if you want the kits as well, Jenny Jackson's website itself will have the kits available for you to be able to buy, which is the paper pieces on their own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I think is such a great way of doing it as well. Because I do, for myself, when I do an English paper piecing project, I'll come to that now. So I'll go through this. Now this, oh my God, I have never fallen in love with anything more. And I am so besotted with this. You do an English paper piecing piece that looks like that, and you make it into a lampshade, and I mean, how gorgeous is that?
Amazing.
And if you just look around the set today, you can see just a few little lampshades dotted around all over the place.
We use them a lot. We've got all the sizes. Yeah.
But the great thing is you can do this and scale it up and down and make the hexagonal one over here. You can make it there, but the design stays the same. It's a really genius way of being able to make the lampshade on this. So we're on our second project, and I was already in love. The whole book, I'm a firm believer, if there are 3 in a book that you love, buy it, because it's cheaper than buying 3 patterns. So we're on number 3, and then we get number 4, which is a salt and pepper. Look at that. It's just so effective.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
And she's used the Alison Glass cross stitch, and I've got the collection in my shop, and I can't remember what it's called. That one there, can't remember what it's called. Art Theory, that's it. She's used the Art Theory collection on it. Oh, and the beginning bit, there's a forward by Alison Glass herself.
Perfect.
So Alison's been very closely involved with it as well. And then look at that.
Well, she does use her fabrics, and they do look amazing. How gorgeous is that?
It's just gorgeous. So
she's a clever girl, that Jenny Jackson.
She's so good.
And lovely as well. I think, when you meet her,
she is so I've never met her in real life.
What do you mean you've never met her?
I've never met Jenny in real life.
Whoa.
No, I haven't.
How do you mean you've never met her?
I've never met her in real life. Because COVID hit when I was doing all of this, we didn't get to meet her in real life. But she's my podcast on Sunday, and she's absolutely amazing. I just adore her. Sorry, I don't say that often about people, but she is so talented. And when kind, lovely people actually make something so special, you really want to support them.
You've got to support it. It's
and then
true.
you look at this wall hanging. It's got fringe on it. I mean, like,
Amazing.
really, hello. It's got fringe on it. How can you not? Because every time you go past, you use a
I would have to put that out of small people's finger reach.
Yeah, well, Emily would just think it's her princess train.
I know.
But look at, but the designs are so beautiful, and I love the way she's done it. That she's kept the synergy of the colours, and then put the background in. It just creates this gorgeous detailing in it that is just so effective. But equally, all of this will work very well with a cafe.
Yes.
If you just look behind me, and then put a cream in the background, or a black or any other colour, it just works so brilliantly. You can tell now. I haven't even started looking at the pieces that I've made. Now we're on to another quilt here, which is gorgeous, another 54-inch quilt. So the Celtic Knots one, this I loved. And again, you go to the back, Celtic Knots, you've got that there ready to go. You can print these out the size you want, and you can then go and print them from the book if you want to. But again, also on, is it #sew is her website?
#sew, yeah, that's her.
You can get the templates from her as well. And the colouring of this, now I looked at this and I am a huge Tula fan, so I did wonder doing this in a Tula ombre from one end to the other would look amazing.
Ooh.
And you do not need a lot of fabric to be able to do this. Then you've got the Kaleidoscope Kisses. Now, be honest, of all the projects we've seen, I think that's about 7 of them. Every single one of them I wanted to make.
So, John, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
We did, a few weeks ago, an applique Liberty bundle
Yeah.
with, they're around 7.5 inch pieces of Liberty.
Yeah.
And so you get so many different
That's
pieces.
a dreadful idea.
Which would,
They work brilliantly for it.
Yeah, the other thing that we did was a bundle of blues, 22 different blues.
Oh, but do you remember that one that you did with all that pastel ombre?
We sold
was it
out of
Amelia?
That was Emily's silhouette.
Emily, oh my God, that was
We
so
ran out
beautiful.
of that. But the other thing that we have was a complete rainbow. Again, along the lines of the 7.5 inch pieces, but just would work beautifully.
And that's
with all of
what's
these.
so important about it is, so the book for me is gorgeous, but then the fun comes when you look at a wall like that and you can just see that being in a quilt like this or any different thing. So this is one I did. So this is the Flower Power design here. What I did is I did half the size of the templates, and I did those in the cave, and then
And that worked really well.
it just works so perfectly because this is beautiful, but it is a really big piece. It's a 15-inch hoop. And I won't lie, I'll be perfectly frank with you, I didn't have a 15-inch hoop. I was doing it, I phoned Natasha and said, I'm making another make. And she said, you've got too much on, you're supposed to be on your holiday. I said, I'm taking it, I'm doing it. I only have an 8-inch hoop, can I scale it down? And she says, well, that's what it's for. Because all you do is you go to the Flower Power panel at the back. Bear with. You get that and you scale it down.
Yeah,
and
we
that's
reduced it
exactly
by
what we did. We
50%.
reduced it down by 50% and we got it in the middle of that. Now, one thing I will say that I didn't do because I didn't have any DMC threads in my house and I was quarantining with Andrew at this point. I know we didn't need to, but I wanted to. You can see how they've done that gorgeous stitching on the outside with a beautiful running thread all the way around. But can you imagine there having a bright pink running thread all the way through and then a white one and then a bright pink as well, or a pale pink, white, pale pink. So this was just how I did it. So I just left that open because I am going to pick up some DMC threads because Natasha's got a huge collection of them on the website as well. So if you are keen on doing something like this, have a little look on the DMC threads because they match beautifully for that.
So this
and you
book
can
is
see
available, this book's available, just lots of you saying, oh, need this book. A month.
It is a month to wait, but it's
But you'll be
worth
first
waiting
to get it.
for.
You'll be the first ones to get it.
But
and
honestly,
that's the
and
thing.
I don't gush about books very often. There have probably been about 5 or 6 of them that in my whole quilting life that I have told everybody they must buy. This is one of them. I'm not getting paid any money for this, nor Tash. It's just a case of, it is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book.
I think it's one of those things. Our ethos here at Natasha Makes has always been to support those that we know and love and who are talented. That helps too. And Jenny ticks all of those boxes.
amazing.
I've known her for years. She's a lovely lady. She works incredibly hard.
She really does.
Incredibly hard. You know, she hasn't had it easy, and if we can support in any way, shape,
And you
or
wouldn't
form,
know that.
we absolutely. Oh no, she
You
never
wouldn't
cries
know
her,
that.
her leg
She's
off at all.
amazing.
No, she's
And
great.
if you want to know more about her and you're still deciding about getting the book, watch my podcast on Sunday evening at 6:30 and you'll see a lot more about her. She is amazing. But I just thought, this whole piece took me about an hour and a half to make. It took a little longer to cut out. So it's just a case, this is not a quick quilt project. This is something that you're going to mindfully sit down and enjoy. So
Well,
that was the
that's-
one that I made there.
That's a, you know, if you're being made to watch football matches or something like
Or
that,
just
or rugby matches
if you're
or
going on a
something
long
like that.
car journey, it's really good. And I'll show you
Yeah.
my little methodology of doing it. So at this point, that's the first one I made. So you can see I got a little enthusiastic at this point. This little ocean cushion is lovely as well. Again, you can see that gorgeous design that's come out there. Again, that beautiful use of colour with the Alison glass. And then we come to the bit that I did make. So I'll come back onto this one in a little while. This is the cushion that I started making. I've not finished it yet, and I'll show you why. But that was really lovely. And then this, oh my God, so simple, so lovely, so elegant. And again, I'll show you what I did, because I did this in 2 different colorways. And then you've got the colour pop here, where you've got the half hexes in here. So what was so great about the colour pop is that when you go to the back and you look up colour pop, over here you've got the half hexes. So when you cut these pieces out, that's the paper you'd cut out, you then just allow 3/8 of an inch of fabric around it. And it doesn't matter how messy you are, because no one's going to see the back. And you can see just how amazing. And then the great thing, I love a storage pod. I absolutely love a storage pod. So
nice.
being able to do something like that, it's just so good. Because especially a storage pod for your office or your sewing room, you use it all the time. And I know a lot of us just throw a storage pod together with leftover fabrics that we like, but spending the time to make something as beautiful as this, because you're going to see it every day and really enjoy it.
That's the thing, isn't it?
But
So Jen has
this-
just told me off.
Who?
She said, she said, we're not sure we're the only place. I didn't say we were the only place. I said that there was,
Oh.
you know, a few other places, but we are releasing it the earliest that we can.
Exactly.
A month before publication.
But look at that
with
one.
special permission from the publisher, by the way.
Look at that one.
Beautiful.
You
Beautiful.
just look at that gorgeous, and again, this is where you have get an ombre of fabric all the way through, and it just pops so beautifully. I love that, and I think that's on the front page as well. You can see the bottom of it over there. It's just the use of colours is so amazing. Here, I love it. Look there you can see it there. Just how gorgeous is that? But what I love as well, for every project, she's created a colour layout. So you can photocopy that out and you can actually colour in exactly whether it's going to work, and you can get your colours in before you actually start cutting your fabric.
Beautiful. That's
Because with
really
EPP, you
helpful.
do not want to be unpicking it all.
No.
And then look at that again. So simple, so elegant, so pretty. And that's 41 inches by 21. It's a nice size as a wall hanging. It's just perfect. Look how gorgeous that is. And then you applique that onto a piece of fabric. And then you get a big giant poof. I love big giant poof. So that is me gushing, and then this is just a smaller project. So if you've not done EPP and you want to start, this is a fabulous way of being able to do it, because it's a nice small project, 7 inches by 11.5. You get to practice your borrow and your running stitch here, using up all your different colored threads there if you want to, and you can just create something really special that you actually can sit down and have your morning cup of coffee and tea or whatever, and just chill out and enjoy it, and just be surrounded by the gorgeousness that is this book. And then she comes in with the usual techniques of how you actually do it, how you do a quilt. She has a YouTube channel as well with videos on how to actually do the process. So there we go. I have gushed enough about the book, hopefully. I love it. It is mine. And she's amazing. The book's stunning. I love it. Now, what I did was, I, of course, love coming here because you get to raid Natasha's stash left and right.
Tasha's stash.
Tasha's stash.
Amazing.
I do think we should actually do a competition for somebody to be able to come in and raid your stash, to be
Well,
able
like
to see the
supermarket
joy of it.
sweep.
Like supermarket sweep type of thing. Now with this, what we've done is, because this is such a unique project and so many different projects in there, you can go in and you can see that there are so many different ways of doing this. What I thought was really good was to be able to give you an idea of trying it. So we've given you 3.5 meters of solids in this collection, being the, is it magenta? Can't remember the colour, sorry Gemma, black and white. But you can see what we've done is we've taken the hard work out of it for you, and you can see how well they work together, and that is what made this.
Beautiful.
And you can see it's a really effective way of doing it. You might want to, if you're doing this as well, you may want to turn the black and the white, because I do kind of regret not having the white sticking out, because it would have given a bit more detail on the edge. But I love the way that you've got all the ways to play with it. So that's the first kit, but you're also getting a hoop.
Oh yeah,
You're
no, we
getting a
threw
nice
the
little
hoop in
hoop with
because
it,
not everyone has a hoop.
now if you are going to be doing the hoop one, remember you do need to scale the templates down by 50% to fit into this hoop. It does get a little fiddly, but you can do it. Don't do it as your first project. Please don't, because you'll cry. So that's the first colourway there, which I can't remember what we've called it, but that's colourway number 1. And then colourway number 2 is really lovely.
Oh, the blue hoop. Can we just have a moment?
No, but I'm coming to the blue
hoop.
hoop. I'm coming to the blue hoop. Again, you're getting 1/2 metre of your solids. And again, a beautiful combination of your solids there.
I just love those
This
together.
Amaze collection is
Amazing.
beyond sublime. Getting a long quarter of the 3 Amaze. And again, you get a blue hoop.
Amazing.
I love it. Now, I won't deny, at this point of doing the prep for the demos, I had spent a little longer on it than I intended. So I decided
that,
there was
John.
not going to be a blue hoop bundle there. Now, if you have never done EPP before, this is what I do for every single, and I'm not joking, I have loads of these, every single EPP project that I have has a box. They all live in the box. They can get taken away. They can move around. It's got loops on it. I can see what's inside it. I have a box for every single EPP project. I always, always, always leave the book in the box. Because when you're looking at about 10 of them and you're thinking, what the hell is that 3 years later? You've got the book already. I've got my printouts here as well of all the bits that I'm going to make. So I always keep those with the book in the box. So I'm a big believer in showing everybody what you've made and what you've got out of one of these kits. Now I had a long quarter of each of these, and I made that with the backing. I made that sample there.
Oh, they're nice.
And
What's that going to be, John?
hang on, I had all of these hexagons ready to go, and I also 2 seconds. Cut these out.
Oh my goodness.
So you can tell. Now I've got, right, we're going to do this maths quickly. 16 times 2 times 6.
Sorry, was I meant to do that?
16 is 32.
Hang on.
32
16
times 6.
2 times 6.
Yep.
Right, yeah, 192.
I've got 192 hexagons cut out on my Sizzix. But do not throw the little bits away, because if you are going to make something this small, the leftover bits from your Sizzix cutouts will make these.
Amazing.
So that's what I got there. Now, there was one piece, literally one piece, that I didn't have enough, and you won't be able to tell that because I've actually sewn 2 pieces together and cut it into a hexagon. So don't worry, you can't even tell that I've done that on this fabric, but being able to then sew these pieces together and then still get my hexagon, it's just something to bear in mind that it is patchwork. You can actually take everything apart and sew it together. And then on the blue bundle, this is how much I had left. And I made that, and I have got, so this is how much I needed to be able to show you the next demonstration that I did there. This is how much I had left, and I've got 192 of these cut out as well.
Amazing.
So we've seen the embroidery collection over there. You know what those all are. Right, so that's the embroidery collection here. So what I did here, these are the coasters, sorry, forgive me, Jenny, I should remember the name, but I can't.
Were they the pot holders?
Pot holders, that's the one.
Hey.
It is on page, I think it's 70, there we go. These are what I've been doing here. So what I did was I wanted to show that's what it's going to look like, but I obviously didn't have time to do the whole section. So you can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's roughly how big your pot holder is going to be. So you can tell it's almost the size of the book there. So it's going to be 8.5 inches square. So that's roughly what you're making out of that. So I did it in 2 different colorways because I just couldn't stop doing this. Now, when I do a project like this, I do get uber excited because I love anything like this being a, what happens if? And what happens if you merge them all together? Or you do them that way? And it's just so great because then you're building an extra piece on it as well. So I just loved this method. And also with those pot holders, you can do one in one colour and one in the other. So you can do one side being the one colour and one to the other side.
Perfect.
So it's just a nice little way of being able to give you a start on doing all of this. That's your copy. So that's my copy there. But what I also did was the cushion. These were the little bits of templates that I did for the embroidery section, and I've kept those because you can obviously reuse them.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Which I love, and you can see how ditty the little pieces were, but it worked really well to be able to get that in the hoop. And then I did this, and we're still, the only reason I haven't put these together is 2 reasons. I'm still debating how to put it together. No, because this is the problem, and I'll show you what I mean here. So that's got all the blacks on a row there, and then if I did, I'm running out of space here. Blacks, pinks.
Whilst you have a little look about that, can I just remind you that the spend £50 and get a free ½ metre of designer fabric is still running, but it won't be running for much longer. We have our reasons, and by the end of the week, that offer will be gone. So if you want to, and you can use, this is something that a lot of you have used a lot of time and got a lot of fabric from us, and that's absolutely fine, that's what it's there for. But please just know that if you are putting in an extra order and you see something fabulous and it just tips you over £50 before you add the ½ metre of fabric. So your basket spend has to be that before you go doing whatever, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, John?
Made perfect sense, but I'm just sitting here mortified because my 2 little white stars aren't here.
Are they in another bag somewhere?
I have a horrible feeling they're on my dining room table.
Oh no!
So we're just going to imagine there are 2 over here because I've made them all.
No.
But you can see how pretty that looks as it is.
Find them straight
But
off
what's
the
so
show.
great about it is, and the reason I haven't done it is because I didn't know whether to do it in black, pink, white, or whether I did it in where I follow the line of the inner colour. See what I mean? So if I did that there, and then you'd have another one there, and it's just, there's so many different ways of laying it out. It's just a case of how best to do it.
Which ones to
I can't
leave
believe
out?
I've left those 2 behind.
Do you really think you have, or do you think
No, I
it's in a
have.
bag
I'm
somewhere?
99% sure because they
Oh,
were all
really?
together. But I took them out because I hadn't finished sewing these together because I was going to do them in the demo. And then I left them out on the counter. Now, when you're finished doing this, you've got 2 options. Jenny's way of doing it is much easier. All you do now is once you've chosen your method that you're going to lay it out, you literally just sew these down here. And then once you've done those, you then fold all of these bits in and then applique that onto the background fabric, which is the grey, a light grey, and you're going to have this absolutely beautiful, beautiful cushion. It was page 59, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was 69. There we go. So you can see that she's used this gorgeous art theory colourway here with the background colours there, and she's then appliqued this onto a piece of fabric on there, which is so good and so lovely. I just ran out of time because I'm trying to, yes, it's been a busy month, so apologies, you couldn't get through it all, but you can see how beautifully this works. And then,
so can I give you some tips?
absolutely,
on
please.
this?
Okay, well, before you do that, can I just just tell people what I'm going to do now, because this is where what's so great about EPP is go and find a friend to have a chat with, and then all you start doing is you start sewing these together. So I'm going to sew this seam along here, hand stitching, while Natasha tells me a lovely story.
Oh, well, it's to say that back in stock we have the fabulous Make a Bottle lamp gadgets. So these are the ones, these are the little gadgets that turn your bottles into lampshades. So they're the light fitting that you insert into the bottleneck.
Oh.
And that's how we can make those into lamps. So they are back in stock. We've waited a while to get them in. They always fly and sell out. So they are back in stock. I will try and find a link for you, Myra. She's just asked for one. So that's what we've got there. Lots and lots of comments, which is all going on.
That's fabulous. Now, if you've never EPP'd before, Jenny has got a YouTube channel where she does show you what you need to do and how you do it. Everybody has different methods of doing EPP. Hers is a really great way of starting and looking at it, and you then just slowly develop your own way of doing it. Now, thread-wise, normally I would use my Orifel 80 weight, and that there, Jenny may or may not have a thread box around, but it's sold out everywhere, so keep watching. But my very dear friend Nicola Bretherton, when she passed away, it was actually 4 years ago next week, she went, before she died, she gave me a ball of this, so I always use this. Only it's like fishing wire, but really, really thin.
Okay.
And I've only ever used that because
basically.
it's a memorial for Nicola, because I just adored that woman. She was the most fabulous person. And every time I do it, I just always think of her. So for me, every piece I've done for EPP has been used on this. You can tell I don't do a lot of it because there's still quite a lot left over.
Yeah, in 4 years, more should have been used.
But you definitely need a good thread for this. Now, I am not criticizing moon thread in any way whatsoever, but moon thread has got lots of filaments that come off the edge. So when you're putting this through the needle, when you're pulling the needle through, you'll actually feel every one of those little knots and every little one of those popping out bits of the thread. You will feel that as you're going through, and it will become more tiresome for your hand.
I tend to use a variegated. I tend to look for an Orifel variegated, because then your eye isn't drawn to it.
That's a very good point.
So that's what I tend to use. The other thing that I do is when you, if you've got any of our bond and repair or anything like that, or mist diffuse or any of the mesh things, little bits on the back of those pieces there will just hold it down. If you're stitching it, then it's a great way. Or you can use the Soline glue pens that we have for EPP, which are all on the website, so you can use those as well. And the Soline glue pens are made for English paper piecing, because the glue dries clear. It goes on either a blue or a yellow or a pink, depending on which ones are in stock.
And they're all identical. It doesn't matter.
No,
it's no
it's
different
just-
if you use the blue, pink or green.
And it just gives you enough hold rather than having to hand baste with a thread. Everything. There are those that will always thread based, and that's absolutely fine. But
that's fine. But I'm sorry, I am a firm believer. My time is so precious, and I'm not very good at thread basting. I would far rather pay the money for the Soline glue pens. Now, I glued 200, maybe 300 of those hexagons, and all of these pieces, and the embroidery thing, and I don't even think I used 3 glue sticks.
Yeah,
it's entirely up to you.
Go easy on them.
Well, you don't need a lot at all. And the other thing to remember is, so when I very first started, I'm doing that Jenny Raymond thing where I lick the needle, not the thread. Bum, 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 bum. Come on. You will go through. Maybe you won't.
Cass says, I was once introduced as, this is Cass, she's my favourite blunt friend. Maybe I should introduce you like that. This is John, he's my favourite blunt friend.
Oh, you just sound a South African, we all are.
How does that happen?
We just don't have time for the nonsense. Social niceties, you know. We were too busy fighting apartheid and sanctions and all those things. We don't have time for niceties.
I thought you were going to say lions.
Well, that too.
All of it, on all fronts.
Africa's not for sissies, that's for bloody sure.
Oh, do you know what? I nearly moved there when I was 19.
Did you see the flooding in Durban yesterday?
No, I didn't.
It was really bad.
Oh, gosh.
They had more rainfall in one night than they normally have in a month. Ooh. And there are these amazing apartments on a beachfront, on a hilltop.
Not so much.
And what happened is, literally through the night, this cascading river of water had just gone straight through these entire apartment blocks.
Whoops.
And there are videos this morning of literally this river coming out of somebody's front door.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just so bad.
Oh, that's devastating.
So all I've done there is I'm sewing these 2 pieces together now. And now with the thread length, there are varying rules on it. that I don't like a rule, but this is one rule that I think I will give you, only because life is too short. You do not want to end up with threads. Don't take it longer than your elbow. Look, it's already
Is
longer
that
than my
doubled up?
elbow. I always double up. You can do it however you choose. There is no right or wrong. It's what works for you. Try not to get your thread lengths bigger than your elbow, because you'll see now why. And what could possibly go wrong?
I mean, what, John? What?
You'll see that
What?
your thread will start getting a bit messed up. Now, there are so many different devices on there. I always use a wonder clip just to hold the other end from where I'm sewing from to. I always put a little wonder clip in there just to hold it tight.
It just, actually, I think Jenny does as well. It just saves hand fatigue.
It does. It really does. Now, the other thing I found when I was doing this, I was holding my fingers up when I was doing it.
Oh, like a posh teacup?
Like a posh teacup. You're going to
Amazing.
get cramp. Don't
Okay, don't
bother.
do that.
It's not worth it. Hold them loosely. You do not need
Relax,
tension.
basically. Relax.
This is fun. This is relaxing. This is enjoyable. And I just wanted to, honestly, I cannot thank Jenny enough for this, because during my hubby's COVID and everything, this was such a lifesaver, being able to just stop and focus on something truly mindful.
Yeah.
And you do end up with some beautiful, beautiful projects afterwards, but it's more the stopping and being able to just thoroughly enjoy what you're sewing and how you're doing it. It's great.
I used to EPP when I was pregnant with Emily. I did her a
Really?
blanket, yeah, and then any hospital appointments or anything like that, because they never run to time, and I'm dreadful at just sitting there doing nothing. I would just whip out my EPP. And actually, the number of people that you start chatting to it is really, really lovely.
Now, the rule of thumb is it's between 12 and 14 stitches per inch. So I know that people normally, when they do their stitching, especially when you're starting out, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing it by hand, it's going to fall apart, I need to have 50 million stitches. You don't. Get a piece of paper, draw an inch on it, divide it in half, and between those half inches you need 6 to 7 stitches. So by doing that, you can then figure out where you are. The other tip that I've seen people do is do that. So once you've drawn it on the line, when you know what your gap is, mark on your finger where what that gap is.
Oh, I've done that.
And
I
then
do
you
that
literally
for
just, so
blanket
when I've
Yeah.
got I'll do the stitch again. So if I've marked on my finger that that's my stitch there, then I know that my stitch has to go there. You've got that on your fingernail already. It just gives you a nice even consistency when you're doing your stitches, to be able to just cautiously, evenly sew all the way through, and then your stitches do look really uniform. Because you do not need millions of stitches on there, and actually the more stitches if you put too many stitches in, you're just going to end up with a little lump, and you don't need a lump.
Perfect. They're fighting over your quilt. Who gets your quilt, by the way, John?
Are they now?
Yeah,
Ow.
Annie wants it. Lo
Now,
says, no, it's mine.
this is what happens when your thread's too long.
What happens, John? What happens?
You end up with a giant knot, because
Do you know what I use that really helps? And that's the Thread Magic.
yes.
Love that stuff.
So if you
that's-
aren't going to use a really good expensive thread, fine, no problem at all. Make sure you use that. What's
Yeah.
it called?
Thread Magic.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And it protects against UV damage
Yeah.
and all sorts of stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And you can get ones that you put on your sewing machine as
Oh,
well.
dreadful.
And then what else do I use with EPP? There are the little colonial thimble. They're like little suede patches that you put
Oh,
on your
yes,
fingers.
yeah.
They are awesome. Love that, because otherwise my fingers used to get really sore. And needle grip as well, in case you struggle with dexterity. So the thimble grip, needle grip rather. Lots of good things we've got for EPP.
I will say that if you are going to do EPP, make sure you are doing some form of hand exercises, because you are cramping your hand up. You are doing it in a method that's not normal. So just every 20 minutes of doing this, go and just stretch your hand out like this. Just do different
Roll your
exercises.
shoulders
Roll your
back.
shoulders and do all of this. But just make sure that you're doing these exercises, because it does cramp up your hands a little bit. Put it up in your hand, just wave at your husband saying, hello, I want tea and coffee and cake. Why are you not bringing me these things? Don't you love me anymore? Shame, Andrew has a terrible life, doesn't he? 15 years later,
So
we've hit
demanding.
the 15-year mark, so we
Well,
can't be doing too badly.
that's just it. So Lorraine says, "Morning all. John and Natasha never change. We
Aw.
love We love you both. Truth only hurts those that are false. Being with my husband."
Oh, I like
yeah,
that.
there you
I'm going to
go.
embroider that onto a quilt.
You're gonna
Truth
plagiarise
only
and call
hurts
it your own,
those
aren't you?
who are false.
She says she's been with her hubby since they were 11 and 12, and now in their mid-50s. My goodness me.
That's fabulous.
What was I doing was 11? I certainly wasn't into
I don't wanna
boys at
know.
11.
You were with Gemma then, so I know you were being corrupted, weren't you?
No, I didn't know Gemma then. Gemma and I only met for sixth form.
Ah, okay.
So I was just into horses. I was just riding horses all the time. It was much easier.
Now, when you get to this next bit, so
Yes.
you can see that I've sewn that one end over there.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden you're like, how on earth do you do this? So you fold it out, and all you're going to do is you're going to lean this together. It's paper. It's meant to bend.
Crease
it's
it. It's
fine.
fine.
But what I will say is make sure that you line this section up here perfectly. Take your little wonder clip and just put that on there to hold it together. And you'll see you've got a tiny little hole there. You may not be able to see it there. But you can see there's a tiny little hole. Just all you do is hold that together. And you can see once you squeeze that nice and tight, I always start each one of my rows with a double stitch, just in case something fails. I always do like almost like a locking stitch, so they go into the same hole all the way along. I'm not saying my way is right. Jenny's website and her YouTube channel is where you go to for the techniques for this. This is just what I found works for me. And as you start doing it, you'll see what works for you.
You will. You'll find your own way. You really will. But just remember, it's just paper. It creases. It folds out.
And it's
just
only
do
fabric.
that.
And
you'll
9
catch-
times out of 10, if you're doing this properly, it's your scraps. You can go through your scrap bin and just pick out pieces and give it a go.
Emily's entire blanket was scrapped.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, looking at your scrap basket, that's better than most.
Elizabeth says, is Jenny Jackson from the same town as Janet Street Porter? She sounds very similar. Jenny
Does
lives
she?
near Brighton.
I don't know where she grew up in Brighton, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a
but
Brighton
honestly,
accent.
I do hope you'll watch the podcast on the weekend. She is so lovely. And it's like that one I did with Natasha as well. It's just so nice to actually hear more about their journey getting there, because you pick bits and bobs of it up as you go along, but it's just nice to have it all concentrated in one place.
She lives the next village over from where I used to live, and yet we never knew each other. Yep.
How lovely.
Yeah, we're both Sussex girls. Oh, Jane says, I'm kind of getting into EPP. Having a cricket makes cutting out loads of Tempics and fabrics so easy.
Oh, it does.
That's the thing.
Well, I use, for the hexagons, I use my Sizzix die. And if you use the 1.5 inch hexie for a 1 inch paper, they fit perfectly. You've got more than enough space to cut over with it. But if you're going to be doing a fat quarter bundle set like this, don't throw the pieces away from your Sizzix, because all those pieces are big enough for you to then actually use in the embroidery section.
Use them. Yeah, Jane needs the book. She needs the book.
You won't. Honestly, it's not. It's one of those books you just will not regret buying, and you will constantly refer back to it as well. The only problem is that when you buy a book like that and you look at all the gorgeous quilts that are in it, you're like, oh, I need all that fabric. Where are we going to find that fabric?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Gemma's
So
shared
now
the
we're
link.
at that point there again.
Oh,
So now
sorry.
we're going to be folding again, exactly the same as before. You can see I'm now going to be sewing this bit on here. In order to be able to do that, you just fold that down. And you don't have to fold this in half. I just find your life's a lot easier with a little bit of a fold. I put my wonder clip in there, give that a little bit of a fold. And you're not actually creasing it, you're just kind of bending it to your will, if you will.
Yes.
It may take you a little while to get it positioned exactly where you want to. Just take your time. And there we go. That's where I want it.
Kath, I always apply the glue to the fabric, not the paper.
Now, Jenny does that as well. All I will say is wherever you are applying it, do not apply it to the fold. It is so easy to do. And where I am now, right now, as I was pushing through, I could feel a little globule of glue. So you want to avoid going and putting glue on this fold here. It just makes your life a little harder by pressing through a big lump of glue.
Oh, Debbie can feel more lampshades coming on. She made some out of a special bottle of champagne.
How dreadful.
But she wants matching pairs, so she's going to have to drink another various
how
bottle of
awful for
champagne.
her.
I know that you will feel her pain.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, did I tell you about the...
Oh, Jenny's watching. Hello, Jenny. She's popped up. She's, I go onto the fabric. Hi, Jenny.
Hello, Jenny Jackson. Love you. Sorry, I shouldn't do that, but I do.
We all love
Oh,
Jenny.
she's fabulous. It's her and that there Victoria Pete. Like them a lot.
Oh, they're both very clever women.
But what's so cool is being able to do, when I'm trying to research this podcast, I'm trying to find the most amazing people to do it. And you just get to talk to all these amazing people, and there are just so many of them.
There are a lot. Well, I mean, how many people on the planet?
A lot.
A lot. You see, a lot. And out of that a lot, you're
But
rifling through.
12% of them are really lovely.
Only 12%.
Well, think of the 100 people that you know. How many would you have in your home for dinner?
Well, it depends if it's our viewers. They're all lovely.
Oh, no, they're all lovely. No, I know what you mean. You know what I mean, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not being mean about our viewers. The viewers are all in the 12%. But we all know that there are a lot of unpleasant people in the world.
But not here. Not here. Jenny says, hello, loving the show. Missed the first little bit because I was at work. Tuned in the minute she got home. I know, right? She's got to work, this woman.
She works very hard, bless her.
Which work? I mean, that's
Exactly,
just it. So
that's
was
the
it
thing.
hashtag so work or was it Sainsbury's work?
I think it's going to be the Sainsbury's work. Oh!
Do you know what? We need to get Jenny to the stage
Yeah.
where she doesn't have to do Sainsbury's
know.
anymore.
One day, it'll come.
I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later.
Oh.
This girl is flying. Flying.
Honestly and truly, we have been nattering. We have not made any energy. It's just been so simple. And I've already sewn 3 together. Now we've got 1 more to go, exactly like I've done before. I'm folding that so that it lines up perfectly. Getting my little grippy piece over there.
Go on, shove it in the camera a little bit more.
There you go.
There
That's
you go.
it.
Ah, good.
So all you're doing is just doing that. I always keep my threads to the back. And then I'm just going to do my double locking stitch at the beginning, which I always do at the start and the end of each one.
Perfect.
Now, every time I do this, everybody turns around and says, oh my God, I can see your stitches from the front. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like. This is a hobby. This is meant to be fun. And if someone is going to criticize the fact that you've got stitches on the front of your work, they need to be in your bed for it, and then they can shush.
Well, there you go. Lo says there are 7.9 billion people on the world, and that's why we should never let a couple of people's opinions colour our world.
Quite right.
That's very, very true. And Jenny's been at the bakery in Sainsbury's.
Ooh.
Do you get to take anything home?
I couldn't do that.
I'd
I'm
take it all
already
home.
enormous. I can't. I've got 5 stone to lose, and I'm still not getting anywhere on it.
5 stone?
I know. My doctor and I had words.
Really? Susie uses a knicker knot at the beginning and end. I don't know what a knicker knot is. What's a knicker knot?
I'm probably using a knicker knot. I didn't know what it was called that.
I don't know. I mean, I get my knickers in a knot. Is that the same?
But you always seem so calm.
I'm like the swan.
Now, that
Paddling
there lady in the
frantically
calf
underneath.
today, that there lady in the calf,
Oh, lovely Jane.
what's she making?
Oh, hang on. What day is it today? Tuesday. Oh, just your normal selection. It's not Big Back Wednesday. Which means that you can have anything, John.
I want a big back Wednesday.
We have to come on a Wednesday. Right?
Actually, to be fair, the last time we went, did Sarah stay for her double bacon, double egg sausage sandwich
of
when she
course.
was in? Good.
Of course you did.
You know that kit from Sarah? I had 3 in my basket, and my husband, of course. The great thing about your show is you get to comment and say lovely things about it. The bad thing about it is your husband can see it, and he will phone you and go, you are not buying 3 of those kits. It's lovely, but you do not need it. I'm like, but I want it! And he says, I would like a clutter-free house.
What?
And there was a clutter-free house.
What's that?
And he looked, and you know, it's just one. You know, it's bad when he FaceTimes you. That's when you know you're in trouble.
Oh.
Did you see the video when all the wool arrived?
No.
So that there FedEx ruined my day. They told me they were coming on Friday. So 500 balls of wool arrive.
Do you need 500 balls of
Well, I'm
wool
trying to do
for?
a crochet along,
Right.
and I'm selling kits for the crochet along.
Right.
And everybody's going to get 1 ball of the entire, 1 ball of each colour of the entire super chunky, super special Stylecraft collection. And then we're going to make this amazing pattern and design, which is so lovely, and it's been so mindful for me. I really enjoyed it. So anyway, I've ordered 500 of them, so I'd have 9 kits for 8 or 9 kits for sale. And I get this, John, come down here immediately.
Uh-oh.
Like, oh shit, what's happening? And then,
Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops.
oops. And then, of course, I thought, no, I'm going to live feed this because then I won't get murdered.
Said as only a true South African can think.
And he just stood there and said, what is all this? I said, FedEx told me they were coming on Friday. He says, that is not an answer. What is that? I said, FedEx told me they were coming on Friday. And then Andrew promptly collapsed, literally landed on 500 balls of wool out of exasperation. But anyway.
Poor man. Oh, Geraldine's joined us. She says,
Hi,
glad you're
Geraldine.
feeling better, John. She says, her Wi-Fi seems to be okay at the moment. She had to ring us
Yay.
yesterday because it was not. Elizabeth says, 5 stone, tell your doctor you are not 17 years old. Yeah, but he wants to live to be over 70 years old.
Do I?
Do you? I'm assuming.
Elizabeth, I can't repeat what I told my doctor to do with himself. It might have been along the lines of asking him to stand up and tell me which appendage of his he could still see.
Ooh.
And then asked him if he was going to be doing the same. Should we join Weight Watchers together?
Oh, really? Wow. Wow. Okay.
Apparently I need to change GPs, but that's okay. I'm okay with that.
It's only his opinion. But just bear in mind that out of the 7.9 billion, they're not all doctors.
Aren't they amazing? That's also true. Isn't it fabulous? So if I hadn't left 2 on my dining room table,
Oh, yes.
you will be able to then see how fabulous that is to go together. Now, one thing I will say is I always have all of my papers ready at the same time. I cut everything out at the same time. I put everything in the box at the same time, and I glue them all at the same time. So for me, it works a lot easier having a full kit of doing this. So whether you get those from Jenny's website, #sew, or whether you copy them from the book, make sure you do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
And then all you're doing with this is then you're going to piece these together in whatever order you like. I think I probably will keep it like this, with the black and the white one over here with the white background. But equally, you can then move everything around. And all you're doing then is you're sewing these together along these sides here, and then appliquing that onto that beautiful light grey background that Jenny's used in the book. And then you make a gorgeous cushion out of it. And Jenny does describe and explain to you exactly how to make it all the way along. That is on here on page 71. So that gives you the idea of how to do it and how to lay it all out. Again, you get the colouring page as well in case you don't like it. So I'll do a little bit of a recap for you. That is number, I think it's page 69 for that one. We've done the embroidery hoop as well. And we've also done these 2 demos, 2 pieces over here, which are for the pot holders.
All out of the same bundle of fabric.
All out of the same bundle of fabric. And all of these were long quarters. Now remember, in the bundles, you're getting a long quarter of the amaze, but you're getting a ½ metre of this one.
Oh, so you can do backings.
So you
for
can do
things.
backings, you
Yeah,
can do cushions,
that's
you
why
can
we
just
did
play
that.
with it how you like. But what I've done with each of these is... I was using my Sizzix die to cut these out, so I cut a 3.5 or a 3 3/4 inch piece, and I got 16 of these out in a row. Now, in order, you can just tell what it would look like as a finished product. I'm going to do like a little hexagon jigsaw
Whilst you
puzzle
lie
there.
those out, Nettie's joined us.
Hello,
Got
Nettie.
Got in the way.
Nettie,
She said-
there is nothing for you to see here. Stop it.
Well, she says she loves the cave, but how do I get it into the house so that the man doesn't see it? And
Well, Nettie, if you were coming on a retreat with me this coming weekend, next weekend after that, I could get it in my bag, and then I could just lump it in the back of your car, and you literally can say, I have no idea where that came from. Legitimately, you can say that.
you know that we do, if you put a little note on your order, we do a competition winner service.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
It has been needed, Nettie. So if you ever need, it's a bit naughty, but we do it. Only because people have asked.
Exactly.
So,
You're a competition winner. Ticket may have cost you 270 quid. Doesn't matter.
Congratulations.
You're a competition winner. Well done.
All winnings.
And if you need that done, we'll
Winning
give
at
you
life.
a shout out on air as well, you know.
Winning at life. That's the one. Oh, but she says she keeps telling the hubby that it's stuff that she's been waiting ages for and got it in the sale. Yeah. Whatever works. Oh, Geraldine's subscription fabrics have just arrived, so she's a happy bunny.
Oh, fabulous.
This is looking very lovely.
But you can see what I mean by just when you, because I laid all these out,
Well, that could be a lampshade.
but
Be
that's
one of the
exactly
big
what I was doing.
lampshades,
So that
yeah.
as a lampshade would look amazing as well. But again, it's not, you know, Jenny's patterns aren't, this was for the pot holders. And I just love it. If you are going to use it as a pot holder, I didn't know, is Oda Coat heat proof?
I have ironed Oda coat. I've recently discovered this, and actually somebody said that it just you get a really smooth surface if you.
Because I thought
obviously
you
don't-
might, but I've never done it.
Don't use
Use greaseproof if you're going to on your iron first. I would have thought.
yeah, so you don't damage your iron. Because I pressed the fabric when I did my toiletry bag,
Yeah.
and to adhere the H640 onto it.
Yep.
And I Oda coated the fabric, and that worked. But I did use a Teflon sheet.
Yeah.
That was fine.
But you can see what I mean by this is just when you're laying this out, so many different ideas come to mind about what you can do with this. And I loved this method because it's just so simple. And truly, it was just so lovely because I've been taking time for myself recently. So it was nice to just sit in my dining room and look out the window whilst EPPing and having my
Coffee from Starbucks. Burrited
and
in.
my little Amazon device next to me playing my favourite show or an audiobook or whatever. And it was just so relaxing to just stop and make something truly beautiful. And these fabrics, so this is the K for Maize fabric here, which I just love. And it's just so simple and it grows really quickly.
Gillian says, hello, John.
Gillian
Sans
Ed.
and I are watching while sitting in the sun in the Netherlands.
That's Gillian Ed. She's in Kekenhof looking
Oh.
at all the tulips. And I was really
Beautiful.
pleased. She sent me about 12.5 trillion photographs yesterday of
Amazing.
all the different tulips.
They're really stunning. Oh, morning, Philip. Philip Jacobs has joined us this morning, John.
Not
Yes.
the Philip Jacobs.
The Philip Jacobs.
Do you know, I absolutely love being a friend of his on Facebook. He has got the most amazing finds on the beaches near him.
Have you seen? Has there? Okay, so
Oh my
Philip,
God,
has
they're
there just
amazing.
been
A jawbone.
Well, no, yeah, but has there been like a recent fall on the cliffs? Is that
Oh,
why you've
gosh.
suddenly unearthed these amazing
They're
things?
gorgeous, aren't they?
Freddie and I follow, my 8-year-old absolutely loves Philip on Facebook because he gets to see all these different dinosaurs.
They're
and
amazing,
he still
aren't
has,
they?
Philip
Can we
gave
switch
him,
to overhead while you're chatting?
yeah, it's
Look how beautiful that is.
Everything just crashed, John. I'm just rebooting.
Oh,
there we go.
there we go.
And
But you can see
Philip-
what I mean. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go
So
on.
you would have, this would then be, this is slightly longer than what Jenny suggests, but you can see 8.5 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. That's how big your pot holder would be over there.
Oh,
that.
nice.
So you can see this is a little bit over half, but that if you did want to carry on doing this, with Jenny's idea of doing a lampshade is so genius and so brilliant that if you didn't want to do that design, the measurements and everything on here are in the pattern. You can see how big it is here, and it's mentioned in the pattern. So just check the book out for that, because I think these are quite multi-switch aroundable.
John,
Sorry
if
to
we've got
interrupt.
Philip here,
Yes, hello, Philip.
show him the bag we made.
Philip, you don't want to see this,
No, the squirrely shells is his fabric.
but you don't want to see this. It's terrible. You won't like it. Look at this. But she's also put this in the middle. Isn't that amazing?
Hang on. There you go.
So that's the lining, but how beautiful. Your fabrics are phenomenal. I was in Wales this weekend and I picked up 2 pieces of your, I can't remember which fabric it was, but back from the Rowan days, and I was so pleased because I've
That's
got,
going back some,
they
isn't
were
it?
so beautiful though,
To manage
honestly.
to get hold of that.
He is a
Phenomenal.
phenomenal designer. Yeah, I love it. And the rainbows too.
Oh,
So there we go. Now, I'm just going to load my EPP into these 2 bags and try and get out the door without Natasha seeing.
yeah.
Not Not going to happen.
Nettie's
Has he seen your cock today?
Today's
Philip,
coq du jour.
we have a cockerel.
Well, it was the new colour, wasn't it? I had to give it the new colourway a go.
Gosh, EPP cocks and bags. What on earth more could you ask for?
Go. Oh, he says no new falls. He just found a massive
It's
plesiosaur
amazing
jaw.
that.
Yeah, one of the biggest ever found in the UK,
That's amazing.
and it's got rows of interlocking teeth. Freddie and I saw that.
It's
Is
incredible.
Did you say it was one of the best fossils that you think you've ever found, Philip? I don't think I made that up.
If it's not, I'd like to see the best.
Wow, I know. But when you go to his his studio down in Dorset. They're all outside,
Oh,
and it's, you know exactly which one's his.
I just love it.
It's amazing, absolutely.
Love
amazing.
it, love it, love it. Have we got a few minutes where you can just carry on nattering and I can keep laying these out, because then I can show everybody
Yeah, sure.
why I went a bit mad.
Well,
on
I'm
all of
thinking
these.
Philip and I probably do another interview. It's been a while, hasn't it, Philip? So we should. Oh, April says loving Jenny's book. She's got one on order. Can't wait for it to arrive in Australia.
Wow.
She doesn't EPP, but Jenny has inspired her to try. That's the
Oh,
thing,
love
isn't it? Jenny, you're an inspiration, my love.
But it's honestly just talking to Jenny and she's just amazing. She's inspiring. She's so kind and lovely, and it's just one of those people you really like to know.
Philip's not being drawn in. He said it's a lovely rooster.
Philip, she makes me say these things
Far
so more
more
people will watch.
What do you mean I make you say these things? I think anybody that knows both
Anybody
of us
who's
know that I
known
have
as us, exactly.
absolutely
Neither
no
of us need
control.
any encouragement.
Geraldine says, John, why are you always trying to acquire things from Natasha?
Why indeed? Why indeed? Because I don't know how to make it, and I think they're gorgeous.
They took 15 minutes
They
each.
did. It's mental.
Yeah. Oh, Lisa said this morning a delivery's on its way. It should be, Judy. We've got lots coming.
What?
Oh, yes.
Of what?
Lisa's fabrics.
When is that coming?
Very soon.
No, I need a date.
Not a cockrangular low. You're very naughty. Jenny says, oh gosh, my heart is so full right now. It should be. You are very well loved. Very well loved.
Do you know what I want to happen?
What do you want to happen?
I want her to win Craft Book of the Year.
Wait, can we make that happen? How
I
do we
think
make
we
that
can,
happen? What do
because
we
you know
do?
that
We all have to vote or something?
Well, the British Sewing Awards is open now for nominations. You know, and I don't know whether you've been nominated in the past, but it's very amazing when people think you're
I don't
clever
get
enough to be-
nominated for anything. I've never been nominated for a thing.
Well, I think sewing personality definitely needs to be up there. But you are competing with people like that.
Sarah Payne, I don't stand a chance.
Well, Sarah Payne came, was it first or second last? Oh, she came second because Debbie Shaw won again. She wins it every year. She's so good.
I haven't seen Debbie for ages.
You can tell it's like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
And everybody's seeing the top of my head. I do apologise.
Oh, that's
My
all
arms
right.
aren't quite long enough.
It's root cam for me. Thanks, Lo, for your nomination. I accept that. And I'm not going to repeat what she's nominated me for. So every time that I go out and do the horses and Freddie comes out, puts his wellies on. Well, no, that's not true. He puts my wellies on and then gets told to take them off and use his own wellies. Because obviously at 8 he has the same size feet as me.
Of course he
What's
does.
going on?
Of course it does.
And so then we go out and I'm pretty much blaming Philip for this, but he just has to go and dig.
Quite
just-
right.
and
Have
he's-
you given
he's-
him a metal detector yet?
Yeah. And he's looking for treasures. So we're going to take the metal detector to the beach when we go to Wales.
Ooh, that'll be good.
And Margaret says Debbie's like the Anton Deck of awards. I think it means that she gets everything.
She has been doing it for quite a while.
I don't know which one's Ant and which one's Deck. I call them Ant and or Deck.
I had such a
Because
crush
I never
on them.
know which one's which.
Growing up, I had such a crush on the
Well,
pair
back
of
in
them.
the Geordie...
We were in Africa. They were the only magazine boys that you saw from abroad.
Oh, really? Oh, so you wouldn't have had the TV show that they were
Oh,
on?
God, no.
Oh, okay.
Our television only worked between 5 and 7 in the evening. Thanks for the sanctions. It was really kind of you. Especially for those of us who didn't believe in apartheid and think it's the most disgusting, awful, appalling thing in the entire universe.
Well, quite. Quite. Elizabeth says, oh, where to vote, John? We don't know. We need to find this out, don't we?
Aceville, if you go on to Aceville,
How are you spelling
Their
that
website.
exactly?
that's why I ended up with one being short, because I cut an extra one there. It's your fault, Natasha.
Oh, yeah. my
If you
fault.
just type in ACE, VILLE, on there will be the British Sewing Awards things there. If you haven't got a shop in the southeast to vote for, hello, Quilt Studio entering, in case you haven't got anybody.
Elizabeth says, Natasha, I was going to ask a year ago if I may nominate you for something.
Can I just point out,
Go on
that
then.
says Cape in it.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, Brandon put that in, didn't he? Love that.
Not quite sure why. Oh, I remember now. I didn't have enough papers. So there are the 3 on the end
few
over
more.
there.
John, you've won lots of things, haven't you?
I may have won a few.
Won a few here and there.
No, my favourite award that I will always be so stunned by, me, came second in the country for customer service.
Oh yeah, it's
Which, I'm sorry, I don't know who did that, but that was very good. Thank you.
probably someone you'd upset, John. Lo's going magnet fishing this weekend. What's that?
I dread to think.
No, I don't know.
Oh, I do know what that is.
Okay.
You take a magnet and you throw it over a bridge and you drag things out of the river to see what comes up.
Oh, okay.
You see all these weird things on Facebook where people drag safes out of rivers and
Oh my
things.
goodness. Oh, Freddie doesn't need to know that. We've got as far as what bait he's going to use to go crabbing.
Oh.
He's quite excited by it all.
Now, bearing in mind, if you are wanting to make this exact piece, you only need to use 7 inches width of fabric, of your fabric, to get this many hexagons out. Sorry, 3.5 inches, because the rest of them are still in my little box, not sewn on, stitched onto hexagons yet.
Look at this. This is going to be huge.
Well,
This is coming into a sort of lap blanket
Exactly.
size.
And there we go. So there we go. So that is 1 width of fabric of each one of those, and then I've cut out the other width of fabric for the others. The only one I'm missing are the black and the white.
Amazing.
I didn't have 3 extra hexagons to put on there.
Oh, John.
So that was why that's it. But you can see it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, simple project, and it doesn't take that long to do. And it just inspired me to just stop and take a bit of a breath, because I think we are very good at running around in our lives. Now, the one thing just to mention, I have mentioned this previously before, if you have got little bits of fabric left over like this, which isn't quite wide enough to make your hexagon, you can piece it together and still cut your hexagon out,
Oh, okay.
because you can't even tell where the seam is there. Even if you go close up over here, that was my cue.
Oh, sorry.
Even if you go close up over here.
Oh, come on, switch over. It's being naughty this
You
morning.
can barely see the seam over there, but you can tell that it is just really easy to do it. I put it directly on the middle of the fabric. You don't need to, you can put it on the end, but it's not that noticeable, sorry. It's not that noticeable.
Drop it.
But you can see, it doesn't really matter, because it is patchwork, and it doesn't matter if you have to piece the pieces
You have
together.
an extra seam, yeah, perfect.
It's just about being able to use as much fabric as you have to be able
There
to
it
use it
is.
completely. And then if you did want to make the cushion and the embroidery piece, I got a long quarter of each one, and this is how much I had left of each one of them, which is around 5 inches. That's more than enough for you to do the cushion and the embroidery hoop piece as well. So that was how much I had left on that. So you get lots left over in the kit if you buy the kit. You can build your own kit, and the rule of thumb with it, if you're building your own kit, if you stick with the same collection, like with regards to Kaif and them, they are fantastic at using, every single one of these colours go together because they use the same colours all the way along. So if you are feeling really extravagant, those big half-metre bundles has been hovering in my basket for the whole day. It is a very considered, gorgeous purchase.
Do you know what, though?
And as Nettie says, how the heck would I get that in the house without the husband noticing?
The offcuts from the bag, you'll get a whole load of EPP
Exactly.
out of that, because there's quite a strip left
There
over.
really is. So even this little piece here, you'll get at least, well, I can tell you now exactly how many you get out.
Or scrap bags, John, that's the other
Exactly,
thing.
the scrap bags.
The scrap bags, we're due to bundle a few more, actually. We haven't done that yet.
So out of that, you'd get 5 pieces of fabric. You'd get 5 hexagons out of that very easily.
It's great for using.
It's just,
if
I mean,
you
it is
hate throwing
really
things away,
good for using up your scraps. And the thing is that what is so lovely, do you remember those hexagon quilts that your grandparents used to, or grandmother used to make, which literally had a piece of fabric from every collection of fabric she'd ever used? And they're amazing, and they're so sought after now. And just doing that, I thought, just works so beautifully.
When we worked at Sewing Quarter, Vic Pete used to take a piece of fabric from every project that she did for them and put it into an EPP quilt, which I
love
think
it.
is lovely. And then it just always reminded her of that.
The one thing I wish I'd done is when I started sewing, I'd kept one hexagon of every fabric I'd ever used to be able to make
you
a couple
imagine
of
it?
quilts. That would be so beautiful.
A couple of quilts, is that all, John? King size.
I only do big quilts. But there we go. That is my gushing about Jenny. I honestly can't rave about the book enough. Fabric-wise, there are hundreds of different fabrics you can use. And yeah, thank you all very much. And my block of the month. Just as an aside, the block of the month for this week.
That old chestnut.
That old chestnut,
Yeah.
But
No, lots of you going for the rock of the month because we love it.
They really
It's
are good.
Beautiful. And if you are building up your FPP skills, then this is the one to do.
It is.
You know,
You've got
all the
6 different
shows are
blocks
there.
on this.
Yeah. So, and just watch the show back again. Watch what John does, because that's the best form of instruction that you can possibly get, is to actually watch John sew.
And if you want it without my banter with Natasha, I've got it on my YouTube page as well, which is Quilt Along with John. There's another one on there as well. But you should get all of it from here. But you just get the laugh with it as well.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Sue says, if Freddie needs to talk fishing, ask Dunks. Why didn't I know that Dunks was an avid fisher? Anyway. Tomorrow.
That there, Jane, isn't it?
It is that there, Jane, and I'm just racking my brains as
That's
to
all right.
what
We'll
she's
pause
doing.
because what will happen is in a few minutes, maybe 30 seconds or so, that door over there will open, and that there oracle of all things clever will burst into the room and say, Jane's doing this.
I have a feeling it's a Lisa Chandler quilt. I have a feeling it might be a kaleidoscope quilt, and I have a feeling that it's rather gorgeous.
That
And I have a
sounds
feeling it
terrible.
might be the one that I gave her last week and went, look at this, it's absolutely beautiful, please will you demo it? Is
And
my
Jane
feeling
went,
on
no,
the
I
matter.
can't be bothered. No, absolutely not. Definitely no.
In
It's
3
that
different
there-
colourways, please,
it's that
Jane.
there Lisa Chandler again.
I know. Oh, here we
See,
go.
told you.
It
It
is
was,
Lisa
wasn't it? The
Chandler
kaleidoscope. Yep,
I
yep.
see. It's almost like I gave it to her to do, and actually remember doing it. I have slept since then. It was a week
It's
ago.
a different oracle today. Hello.
It's lovely, SJ. Good
No,
morning,
can
lovely
I just
SJ.
say, can I tell people about your desk?
My what?
Your desk.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
So I'm sitting in, SJ's not in the office very often. So she's there and she's got this little sort of like ironing board on the floor. And I'm thinking, what on earth is that? It's her own pop-up desk. She's got her own little pop-up desk. It's literally about the size, width of that, about this big.
Child-sized
Child-sized desk. And she's got this giant chair behind it, like a throne. And this
switched
tiny little chair.
Got office child. It's all good.
So you've got the whole team in today. It's lovely. We're going to go for double bacon egg sandwiches. Are you coming?
Oh, I did bring my lunch
So?
with me, but I might be.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
but that can be
it's-
dinner.
You can have
That's
that for
fine.
afternoon.
True.
Now we know why I'm 5 stone overweight.
Well, it's not the whole team. We haven't got Josh today because he's got COVID,
No.
so he's home. So we're sending you
Has
lots
anybody
of
in the
love.
office other than you and Jane not had COVID?
No,
Oh.
everybody else has had it. Yeah.
I still don't quite know how I've dodged it this long.
No. I don't know.
But I can feel it coming in. It's like
No.
knocking at the door.
No. Yeah, but it's getting weaker and weaker all the time.
Is what it is.
Is what I'm hoping. That's what I'm saying to myself. Jane Jackson says thank you. It's our absolute pleasure, my love. Absolute
Why are
pleasure.
you thanking me? I'm just telling everybody the truth about your book.
There you go.
And you know if I hated it, I'd have told everybody as well.
So just be grateful he likes it. And what was the quote? The truth only hurts if.
Those who are false.
Oh,
I love that.
you're going to be embroidering.
Whoever
on
that
your shirt,
was, I
aren't
will put credit on, but I'm definitely putting that onto an embroidered shirt.
you? Ali says thanks for a brilliant show.
I do want to know though, why have I got one extra piece of that?
I don't know what's in
Because I cut them out of the same. Do you know when something really just annoys you and you can't figure out
Rankles you.
how do you have one when you
Don't
can
know.
only get 16 out of a piece?
Are you rankled?
Don't understand. And you know what would have happened? That the Joe or something would have played a trick on me and fiddled with something.
Uh-oh. Geraldine says thanks for cheering me up, everyone.
Pleasure,
Just what
my
the doctor
darling.
ordered. Absolutely love you all. Well,
Yay.
thank you.
Well, we
very,
love
very
you.
much.
And thank you for watching. We couldn't do it if you weren't watching.
No, absolutely. Right, everybody. Bacon and egg is calling. We'll see you tomorrow with beautiful Lisa Chandler quilts. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Bye.